Hi, welcome to Titan. I'm John. Come on in. I want to welcome you to Titan Customs and Collision. I want to give you a brief tour of our office and shop area. Over here to my left, we have our reception desk, and we have an extra office for you in case you need to do some work while you're here waiting on your vehicle. And over to my right, we have our lobby. But back behind me, and what I know you really came to see, is the shop. So let me give you a tour of the shop and come on in. Hey, welcome to our shop. This is our two-post lift. We've got a customer of ours has a 69 Camaro here, and it's got a custom frame, custom body. The only thing that's 69 about this car is the actual exterior panels. The rest of it's all new. He's got an LS3 engine, and we are actually, this next week, you guys stay tuned, you'll see the video. We are putting an all-electric digital panel, instrument panel, updated panel in this car. And once we have that in there, we're having to rewire the entire car. You see wires strewn everywhere right now, but in another week, that'll look different than it does now. Gonna crank it up and make sure everything's working right, and then it'll be off to paint and body. So follow me this way. I'll show you our parts room. We have so we have just this is our downstairs smaller parts room here for I guess for vehicles that we're currently working on and the smaller parts. We have, however, upstairs, I don't know if you can see this up here, but we've got the stairs going upstairs. We've got a balcony. We have another 1,500 square feet of part storage upstairs. So we've got plenty of room for everything. So follow me this way. We do some metal fabrication right over here. We've got just a workbench and some various different things. But right beyond that is one of the cooler parts of the shop. We have our car liner benchmark system, or bench rack system, excuse me. This is the largest frame machine that car liner makes, and car liner, in our opinion, is top of the line equipment. It also has, you'll see this aluminum bridge in the middle of it. That is part of the 3D laser measuring system, which I'll show you in just a second. But this machine is used for pulling and fixing frames that are bent. These are all of the pull towers and all of the attachments that go with it. It's an EVO system. It's a fixturing system. So for example, if we're replacing a door or door hinge, we actually can hold it with this fixturing system and hold it in place and measure it with the laser, plus or minus within about 1.5 millimeters, and have it in place before we start to weld it back. So the 3D laser measuring system is really neat. It's basically an MRI machine for a car. We've got this system. Let's see if we can turn this around. All right, we call this the guitar. This is the laser measuring head that goes on the bridge. They say this thing, if you drop it and it gets out of calibration, it has to go back to Sweden. It takes 3 weeks and costs $11,000 to recalculate it, to recalibrate it. So that's a valuable piece of equipment that we don't want to drop. But that, like I said, the 3D laser measuring head attaches to the frame machine, and the computer here has a database, has a program in it that has a database of all the vehicles. You enter the VIN number, it pulls the vehicle up, and you start measuring the vehicle before you begin the repair to determine if anything's bent. So it's, the way I look at it, before x-rays exist, I'm sure a lot of people broke bones and doctors did what they did to try to help them heal their bone. But now we have the ability to x-ray the vehicle, you might say, before we start the repair. And if the technology exists to do that, there's no reason not to. Plus, this is often required by the insurance companies and the manufacturers when it comes to, back in the day, they would just sort of eyeball these things, try to say, oh yeah, that looks close enough. And that's not the case anymore. We're working with advanced materials, ultra high strength steels and other things. So now we pull the vehicle, or make the corrections to the vehicle, and we have the ability to measure it with a laser to make sure, like I said, it's accurate within 1 and 1.5 millimeters before we begin the body repairs. So follow me this way. We've got, we use all snap-on tools, all the latest and greatest in terms of tools and technology here at Titan, and we've invested a lot of money in tools and technology. And one of the one of the most expensive things, or the biggest investments we've made, is in this Carolina resistant spot welder. Now, these have been around for a while, but not many shops have these. The reason we have it is most vehicles, when they were welded at the factory on the assembly line, they used spot welders. You've seen cars going down the assembly line with the robotic arm welders hooked to it. Those are resistant spot welders just hooked to a robotic arm. But we have the ability to repair your car the way that the manufacturer built it, using the same welders and the same technology that they used to manufacture the car to begin with. We also have multiple advanced material MIG welders here. We have dual guns. It's all digital. It's all fed from our Wi-Fi. All of these welders actually connect to our network, feed off of the VIN number of the vehicle, so we know what type of steel we're welding. It senses that type of metal and adjusts the settings on the welder automatically, so you know that you're using the correct type of MIG welding wire, as well as the correct settings and heat settings on the welder. So the technology now in the collision repair business is pretty amazing, and we've invested a lot of money in trying to make sure that we have the ability to do that, to repair your car the way it was built. Now you guys want to check back with us on this. This is a 74 Bronco that we're in the process of rebuilding. We have the old body outside, but after we got through sandblasting it, too much of it was rusted. We basically are replacing about 85% of the body on this 74 Bronco. So we're waiting on a couple of parts this week that should be here in like 2 days. So if you check back in about a week, you'll have a video of us assembling this Bronco from start to finish. Let me show you our paint shop. Be careful with these stairs here. And one change that we made, and pardon the background noise, the booth is on right now, but most shops, all shops require a large compressor that has a large tank and a tremendous cubic feet per minute volume of air. We opted to go right behind you. You'll see with a rotary screw compressor. It's not quite as loud as a vacuum in a home. Most compressors that put out this volume of air are piston type compressors, and most people have them outside in the shop because they're so loud. So this is a newer technology. It's got a refrigerated dryer attached to it, so all of our air is clean and dry, and through, you'll see the blue aluminum pipe. So it's all, it doesn't condensate, and it's all dry. Follow me and I'll show you the paint booth. It's an all digital panel here. Like I said, the technology is just amazing. This thing's all controlled by this electric Mitsubishi panel. It's not the paint booth that you used to see back in the day. So coming this way, you'll see our mixing system. It's all digital. We have digital scales, computer, everything is mixed. We mix our own paint. We use a solvent-based PPG paint, and it's all, we put the paint code in the computer and we mix everything on the digital scale. Tells us, does it by parts per million, and the color matching is just unbelievable. And following this way, you can see the top of the line, Global Finishing Solutions, Ultra XD paint booth, full downdraft. It forces air through the ceiling and then sucks it down through the lower filters in the booth, which then it gets filtered and exhausted out the top of the building. But overspray is not an issue. We keep the filters cleaned, obviously, and changed regularly. So you have no trash. You got a full downdraft, so no overspray, and there's just not a finer paint booth available. Hey guys, it's John Williams with Titan Customs and Collision. We appreciate you taking our shop tour with us. If we can ever be of any assistance to you in terms of fixing your vehicle from a collision repair or with a custom restoration project that you may have, please feel free to give us a call. We would love to help you in any way we can. Thanks.